Welcome back. You may be wondering if it's safe to make doctor appointments now that offices are reopening and many people are getting back to a bit of normalcy. Joining me this morning, Dr. Jeanine Downie, a dermatologist from Image Dermatology in Montclair, New Jersey. Doctor, good to have you with us.
Hey, Lori, great to be on with you. Thank you so much for having me.
So you opened your office, what, May 13th?
Yes, I opened my office on May 13th, and what we decided is that we were going to change everything. I put a video on my Instagram. It's just at Jeanine Downie. So we have no more waiting room. That's the old, Lori. There's no
I
more
know
waiting
that
room.
couch well. I've sat on that couch.
Thank you for admitting you have, my dear, and I adore you, and I want you back in here. So we're having people wait in the waiting room, not in the waiting room, but in their actual cars, and they call us or text us from the parking lot, and we're doing concierge service, Lori. So we go outside with the thermometer, we're checking their temperature, we're pre-screening them on the phone and making sure they have no symptoms. If you feel sick, you may not go see the doctor, you may not, like, for non-urgent. Obviously, if you're very sick, then you need to go to the hospital. But if it's non-urgent, then you're not coming in right now. It used to be allergies, but now maybe it's COVID. It's just not cool.
What about your staff members? What precautions are you doing so that they don't infect your patients?
Right. So what we do is we're taking staff temperature every day, including mine. And there's an article that came out in the middle of April that made me feel like, oh my God, now I can open safely. You take betadine solution. It's that surgical solution. You swab it up your nose with just a Q-tip. You don't have to put it all the way up to here. You can just snip it the rest of the way up. So it's povidone iodine. People with a severe iodine allergy can't use it, but people that don't can use it. And it kills the common cold, the flu, and the coronavirus for up to 3 hours. And you can just get it from your local drugstore, whether or not you're a doctor. So we're swabbing our staff noses, swabbing my nose. And when we're doing procedures where, the mask has to come down, obviously I know you like your props, so I'm using my N95 mask, and I'm using these stupid shields. So I look like that, Lori. I look crazy.
No, you don't. You look like you're protecting yourself and others.
Right. And then I'm telling everybody, try to pay by credit card, because we alcohol swab off the credit card when we get it from the patient, and then we process it, then we alcohol swab it back off and give it back to the patient. And I'm recommending that people carry alcohol with them so they can swab off their credit cards. And then everybody has to wear a mask, Lori, and you still have to social distance as much as you can, because after all, we're not Batman. You know what I'm saying? We're not invisible. So we have to social distance when we can, but masks are critical. So we're trying to institute all those things, and my patients are feeling safer, and they're happier to come back to the practice knowing that they're not going to be sitting next to somebody in the waiting room that possibly has COVID.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, I think a lot of people, Jeanine, the last time you were on, they don't want to use frownies anymore. They don't want to use Vaseline on their lips to make them look plump. They don't want to have to do that. They want you and other dermatologists to help us out.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had like a rush of Botox, a rush of filler, a rush of laser, and we're spacing out patients, spending more time with each individual patient so we can get to all their needs. And then I'm even seeing new patients now, because at first I wasn't seeing new patients because I was kind of trying to accommodate my old patients. And I will say, for everybody out there, the key thing is that we keep washing our hands. So we have to keep washing our hands, and we have to stay conscious with all this turmoil in the world right now, that we don't make ourselves sick, and that we don't make our elders sick, and that we don't make our kids sick. So we still have to be vigilant right now. This is real.
What's it been like during this pandemic for you and other people, other doctors and businesses, with that loss of revenue coming in?
So that's been just awful. I'm a small business owner, a minority business owner. We were closed for 7 weeks, so that's been devastating. So fortunately for me, I have savings. I applied for some loans. I didn't get what I wanted, so I'm still trying. I mean, this process has been not great, but for me, I have savings, and then I have an income stream because I do clinical trials. I think you remember that. So that's really helped me a lot in this time of need. And then, quite frankly, I furloughed most of my staff, and now almost everybody's come back to work except for one employee. And, that's been great also, because my staff wants to get back to work to help people. I mean, we're actually here to help people. And then, you know, we're sanitizing and disinfecting the rooms in between every patient. So if anything, my staff is working harder right now, sanitizing and disinfecting the bathrooms. And that's why I'm telling people, like one of my patients drove up from DC to see me last week, and I told him, I said, no stopping in the restrooms on the way out. They're not sanitizing and disinfecting. I don't want you to get caught when you're trying to get Botox. So we really need to not casually do some of this stuff we were doing before. Nothing can be casual right now. Everything has to be very intentional.
And if one thing we've learned during this time with Zoom, that everyone is trying to look their very best with the right lighting, and everything's kind of been magnified, where you were maybe not going to a dermatologist for something else, but after seeing yourself in one of those boxes, you want some help now.
Right, exactly. And my patients, because they're seeing themselves up close in Zoom, they're looking at all of their flaws, and they're like, can you fix that? What can you do? Can you tighten that? So it's good skincare. If they can't get in here, it's good skincare. It's definitely sunblock, because we're reacting to indoor and outdoor lighting. And then it's scheduling and getting in and knowing that we doctors are front line for prevention. There's been a 600% increase in suicide since this coronavirus thing started. There's been a 300 to 600% increase in alcohol use and abuse. I mean, so people, and then there's been all these heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and people dying. So now that we're back open again, we want people to see us because we want to be preventative, and we want to keep people. My bottom line is I want to keep people out of the ER, and I want to keep people out of the hospital in as much as I can.
Amen to that.
We're here for that as well. Yep.
All right, Dr. Jeanine Downie, Image Dermatology in Montclair, New Jersey. Good to have you on, Doc, and glad your practice is up and running again. Thank you for all the tips.
Really great being on with you. Thank you so much.
All right, same here, hon. Coming up on Good Day, Sylvia's in Harlem is doing its